being so busy that it renders you ineffective. And I think that's the thing that a lot of relationships right now are probably going through, that of just, we're busy, and then it gets to, you get kids in bed, and then it's, 9 o'clock. You're exhausted.
Yeah.
You have nothing left because you've been so busy. This is Ryan and Michelle, and welcome to the Celebrate MarriageCast, where we hope to restore and reclaim godly marriages through honest and real conversations.
Hello, and welcome to episode 91. We are so glad to have you listening today. And Ryan, we're just back from a trip.
Yes, we are.
And we are talking about doing kind of the opposite, about resting.
Yes.
Resting. I feel like that's something we could use coming off of that trip.
Absolutely. Well, Michelle, yes, summer is here. We just got back from a trip for your work conference for you.
Yep.
We went to the
big city of Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania.
Pittsburgh, PA.
Never been there.
I have not been there either.
And they had a lot of bridges and rivers.
Yep. 3 rivers and I don't know how many bridges.
Couple dozen bridges. And they were all yellow, very cool structures.
Yeah.
Massive steel.
Yeah.
Like actually walking through it and seeing the bars and bars of steel.
Yeah.
It was cool.
It was cool. I walked on a lot of them. I didn't get all of them, but I walked on a lot of them.
There were a couple of famous ones, right?
Yeah. Yeah. There were some cool ones.
Roberto Clemente.
The Roberto Clemente Bridge that led right over to the Pirate Stadium.
That's cool.
Yeah, it was really cool.
The Andy Warhol Bridge.
Yeah.
That went to his museum.
Yeah.
We got a chance to go there for an opening reception. That was really cool.
Yeah.
We sat on the same couch that was in a painting or a kind of a self-portrait of Andy Warhol.
Yeah.
He was on the same couch.
Yeah.
That was really cool.
Yeah, it was pretty cool.
I brought a tomato purse to it. That was my exciting moment.
It was.
We didn't get to see the Campbell soup painting though, which was a little bummer.
Yeah,
But
it was a bummer.
we got to see a number of other cool paintings, so
Yeah,
it was really cool.
it was. It was a really fun trip.
Thanks for joining me.
Absolutely. So, as Michelle said, we wanted to do a show around a topic that impacts us all. And actually, this is designed to be a 2-part show, but just to kind of give you an idea of where this started. So, we brought up the trip because this is really where this show was birthed, if you will.
Yeah, we talk about how we're always getting these downloads from the Lord himself. He puts these on our heart and we're obedient, and Ryan does a lot of the writing, but you felt prompted for these topics in particular.
Yeah.
So I was in my sessions, you were thinking about the cast.
I was thinking about the
love
cast. And actually really kind of where this stemmed is like, while you were in your conference, I literally just walked. I think it was like doing like 15 plus miles a day, like just walking around the city, taking in the sights, the smells, the culture, just kind of everything. And
there was one day that you walked to the top of Mount Washington.
Yeah.
And you had a view of the entire city. And you walked there from downtown Pittsburgh in our hotel, which was kind of, it was really impressive to me. It's like, how did you get there? You're like, I walked there. I'm like, what? You can see the whole city. It was so cool.
Yeah. Now on the flip side of that, I noticed as I was going down, there was like gondola type things that brought you to the top.
Oh yeah, I saw those.
Yeah, that would have been a lot easier.
That's why you were the only one walking. You said you were the only one walking.
I was the only one walking up.
Ryan, that's why.
That's why, because everyone else was smart and used this little rail thing that took them to the top.
But if you didn't know about it, then how do you know?
But, as I was walking and as I was just taking in all of these things, all these bridges, the rivers, and like all of these things, I couldn't help but just sit there and like, well, why don't I do this more often? Like, this is so like nourishing to me. And I just like, it's really great. And like one word came to my mind, and the answer is busy.
Busy.
I'm always busy. Always things going on.
I think about Yes, Ryan, first of all, that's true. I very much feel that. I think, not to say that I feel busier than you, but I tend to be more of a busy body. Even at night at our house, you are more likely to find time to just stop. Even if there's things to do, you'll be able to read or whatever. But I feel like I'm an Energizer bunny, just always doing. So for me, I really resonate with this busy culture. And, I think of Jesus, and he was never rushing around in scripture. Like, it just seems like he had such a comfortable pace. There are never stories about, then he rushed here, then he rushed there. No, there's a story where he stopped to heal a woman in her bleeding. She reached out and touched him, and he was like, who touched my robe? And she was dealing with bleeding for years and years, and he took time to heal her. And he was actually on the way to heal somebody else. And he wasn't like, whoa, I already have an appointment right now. No, he had margin in his schedule. And he also had the faith to know that, you know what, when I get to the next thing, it's going to be okay. And I love that picture of Jesus himself modeling that people first, not busy.
Yeah.
Lifestyle.
Right. Yeah. He didn't pull out his calendar and be like, well, let's schedule your healing for 6 months from now.
Right.
I'm too busy.
I'm too busy.
Right. Michelle, there's a quote that I want to share with you. I think it's often attributed to Corrie ten Boom, and it says, if the devil cannot make us bad, he'll make us busy. And I think this is so true for us and for our lives, for our relationships. And honestly, I think it's one of the things that's plaguing couples and relationships right now. I think it's one of the big things.
Yeah, that quote is really staggering to me, and it really hits hard because essentially it's saying that Satan can make us ineffective just by making us busy. It doesn't have to be some big monumentous sin or downfall. It could just be busyness, and that is rendering you ineffective for the gospel.
Yeah, absolutely. So
that feels like a huge wake-up call.
Right.
Like, have I become so busy that I am ineffective in seeing people, having compassion, meeting their needs, doing ministry, living for him? Have I become too busy?
Yeah, absolutely. So we're going to talk about something that is entirely countercultural today. And, it's really this idea of ripping up your to-do list and instead focusing on something is called, or something, I mean, you can call it whatever you want to, but I call it like my core 5. Like the core 5 things that are just like non-negotiables that have to be done every single day.
Right. I'm just thinking that you may have given people a little bit of a heart palpitation with your directive just a minute ago. I don't know if you saw my face, but I kind of was like, rip up my to-do list.
What?
My to-do list? Not that list.
Right. Yeah. And I think the point of this is like coming up, like what are the core 5 that are just non-negotiables that you do every day? This is going to be different for every person. Even we'll share ours, and ours are different. Mm-hmm. They're entirely different. So that's okay. It can be whatever. But there's something that when you accomplish these core 5, that will change your day.
Yeah.
That changes, for me, it'll change this busyness that comes into my life, and it will, that will just change the outlook and slow down my pace. It automatically will happen when I achieve these core 5.
And I will say this too, Ryan is the master of this. You have so much discipline, and his 5, he does every day. You are so disciplined with it that I think that's why you are the way you are. You're amazing. And it's because of these habits. Mine, I feel like, are a work in progress. So I'll explain some of that and kind of share, but just know that it's okay if you've not arrived. That's why we're having this conversation, because we're working on it too.
Absolutely. Yeah, absolutely. And I think that's why this conversation is so important, because yeah, we are working on it.
Yeah.
But I think that's hopefully will give you hope and encouragement and will help you to start working on it.
Are you going to share yours?
Yeah. So let's put some legs to this. Okay. So my core 5, number 1, they're not necessarily in order. I did put faith number 1. And I think what that looks like is daily time with God, whether that's through prayer, reading the Bible, worship. I put meditation on mine as well. I think it's super important to just spend that time with the Lord every day.
Share what that looks like for you.
Yeah. So, I mean, I'll typically start right off my day. I've shared this before. This is after I put deodorant on. I don't know why. It's just a quirk that I have.
You don't want to get sweaty, or once the sweat starts, you can't stop it.
Yeah.
So it's great. You're just being proactive.
I mean, time with the Lord is intense. I gotta put deodorant on.
All right, so you're clothed, you're deodorized, and you're sitting in your chair in the corner of our room. I'm sleeping.
Right.
You're sitting in the chair, kind of in the dark, with like a closet light on.
Yeah.
You roll in some oils, right? You have like a frankincense roller.
Yeah, and it's just it's either listening or reading God's word. And that's every day. And I think it's important for me to slow down, to hear from God. I think how else that looks throughout my day. I also use an app. It's literally called the Pause app.
I didn't realize it was called that.
Yeah, okay. And it's something that John Eldridge and his team put out, and it's 1 minute. It's 1 minute at 10 and 2.
Do you set those times?
I think you can. Yeah, that's where I set mine.
So then what happens? You get a message?
Like I get a message saying, "Hey, it's time for your pause." And like I'll stand up if it's nice out. I literally will go outside for 1 minute, and it's just deep breathing, like meditating on there's lyrics that go with it, but just like God, I need you, and like
so they're giving you a sound bite to listen to, and you do this outside. You go out of your office.
Yeah,
people could be walking around, driving, parking, whatever. You go out there and you stand.
Yeah.
Do you have like a praise posture? You just stand there?
I just stand. I take deep breaths.
I did not know this part.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
I knew you did the pause. I didn't realize you actually went up like outside and okay.
I try to.
Oh, that makes my heart so warm.
Yeah. And it's just it's 1 minute.
But it's scripture focused.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's cool.
That's a core for me. That's something I do every day. 2 is growth. I'm a firm believer in growth.
I actually thought you shared like 5 things. That was all number 1 under faith.
Oh, that was all number 1. I'm very sorry. I'll go through the rest of these a lot quicker.
Right. No, it's just you're such a role model for all of us. So amazing job, Ryan. Okay, so number 2 for Ryan.
Number 2. Okay, I'm going to go through these faster.
No, it's fine. Take your time. It's great.
But growth.
We're all in awe.
I think taking time to read, podcast, a good video that's uplifting, that's giving, that you can learn something. I think it's, we've shared before, like you're either growing or you're dying, and that's a core for me. Yeah,
you can't be stagnant. There's no such thing. It's that you're going in one direction.
Yeah. 2 or 3. Sorry, fitness. I think it's super important. Your body is a temple of the Holy Spirit, and it's. Obviously it's good for your mind, it's good for your heart, it's good for your body, to have some form of fitness, health, take care of yourself. 4.
Can I just say for the fitness, what you do, and I think is so brilliant, you come home and you say hello to your family, and then you beeline downstairs and you will do your Peloton workout before anything else can pull you away.
Yeah.
And that has been successful for you.
Yeah.
You just do it. And sometimes you're back up from your workout and I'm still finishing up work. And I'm like, oh, wow, you're already done. And I just sent like 5 emails, and that's what I did. So it's really impressive, the routine that you have, and how you just get to it.
Yeah. Yeah. It's, for me, like that's a core, because it's a transition. And I think like for me, it really helps me to be present then for the evening.
Yeah.
Because at that point I can process through my day, I can process through work, anything that was going on from work, I'm processing during that time. And then when I'm done, I can shift to my family.
And I'll say this too, this is really cool. So you're usually done by 5 o'clock. So it's not like he's taken over all of our family time. He has shifted his work hours to be 7:15, 7:30 to 4:30. So you have chose to go in early. So then you can get off early and then you'll be home by, 4:40, 4:45. You'll work out for, I guess, so you're done a little after 5.
Yeah.
So the time that most people, if you have a 8 to 5 job, you'd probably be getting home a little after 5 anyways. So that works really well for you. You're done with all of that, but it could be on your lunch hour. It could be whenever too.
Yeah. And then 4 is daily connection with you, Michelle, with my spouse. And I think that's daily communication, daily connection. Really with the idea of do something for your spouse each day. That's kind of a core that I have. And then number 5 is our family, and it's the same daily connection with our kids, do something to uplift them each day or connect with them each day.
You're great at that. You're good at all of those.
So those are my core 5. And I know you may be thinking like, well, Ryan, this is literally a to-do list. And you're right in that, but it really helps me to bring things into focus because if you go back to my list, daily time with God, what does that do? Okay. I literally am quieting myself for 10 to 20 minutes each morning. I'm taking a break at 10 and 2 for 1 minute to just refocus on who I am and what I'm doing. And it's those things. It's fitness. Okay. I'm again slowing down from all the craziness that's going on to regroup, to process.
Yeah, you're determining your direction too.
Right, yeah. Right. My daily connection with you, with our kids, again, that's slowing down to serve others, to be other-minded, and so yes, in that sense, all of these things. Are to do. And I'm not saying these are the only things I do every single day.
Right.
I have a list of work things. I have things that I do. It's just these core 5 help me to slow down.
Yeah.
And help me to get out of that busyness where I'm just running nonstop and just wearing myself out.
I think that's the life that Jesus modeled. You're not just running. You've mastered that. So those core 5 help you to, slow down. You move too fast. Let's make this life last. The title of the show, slow down, be unhurried in your pace.
All right, Michelle, do you want to share yours?
Yes, I will. Okay, so one, Bible. I am in the Word every day. And I've shared that maybe we can cut that part out where I just cleared my throat. I'll start over. Yes. So I am in the Word every day. So Bible's at the top of my list. And I have a streak right now in the Bible app. I think it's 15 days. Something sad happened, you guys. We were out of town. I think it was when my uncle was in hospice. And we got back to the room at, super late at night. 11 or something. I don't know. I don't know what was going on, but it was like the night before he passed. And I was like, oh my gosh, I need to do my Bible yet. And I'm a nighttime reader. I keep trying to switch it to the morning, but it's just, I'm a nighttime Bible reader. It is that I'm just a night owl. That's me. So, I went to read my Bible and I realized that it was after midnight when I started to read it, even though I was still in that same day reading my Bible for that day. It was past midnight. And even at that point, it was too late to drive to a different time zone or something. So
I love that you thought about it. That's great.
I had to lose my Bible streak, which I had the entire year. So that felt sad, but I had to remind myself, Michelle, you are reading the Bible for yourself and for the Lord, not for this streak that nobody sees in the Bible app. So release it. Don't beat yourself up. But daily time in the Word. And we are doing that Bible plan. And I am a few days, I'm like a week and a half behind. But I would tell you what, I am in the Bible every day. I might not be doing 4 chapters a day like I was earlier this year. We were at the work conference and things, but I am still doing a chapter a day most days, at least a chapter a day, if not more. So I feel really good about that. That's been great foundation for me. 2, family check-ins. So we have family dinner together most every night, and we do high, low, high. What is something great about your day? What's maybe a low point? It just opens up discussion. And then what's another high? End it on a positive. That's been really important to connect with our family and just get a pulse on how things are going. We'll also ask our son, hey, were you the nice kid today? Were other kids the nice kid? And that question too has opened up a lot of like a whole can of worms type conversations, but that's been a really great question. 3, supplements and body nourishment. It's just something that I know I need to supplement our diet with other things, magnesium, vitamin D, just, a whole plethora. We do a lot of supplementing. Greens, I made it's called a glow up drink. I made that with greens and electrolytes and collagen today. And that's just been something that I feel better when my body is physically functioning better. So that's been important to me. Number 4, prayer. We pray together. We try to pray as a couple most nights, but if you fall asleep first, usually, because again, I'm the night owl, and you have work much earlier than I do, I will still pray every night, but we're in prayer throughout the day. If things happen, I just actually prayed on the way here. You guys, if I see an ambulance or an accident or a helicopter for a hospital, I will just stop and throw my hands out in that direction. I mean, not if I'm driving, but up towards the sky or out, and I will just pray for them. I just get chills over my body when I see an ambulance, and maybe it's because, I lost my father due to a medical, emergency. It's just, so things like that are, I don't know. It's just, I just pray a lot throughout the day for all sorts of people as things happen. So prayer is very much a part of our day. And if people tell me that they're going through something, often I will just say, can I pray for you right now? I've prayed for random strangers on the phone. I've prayed for people out in public, just wherever. Yeah. It's just a part of who I am.
You are amazing at that.
Thank you, love.
For sure.
Thank you. I don't ever want to say, I'll pray for you and then forget. Because I feel like I've done that too much in the past where I have good intentions. So it's just, if I'm going to pray, I just want to do it right then, and then, try to do it later too. But that's really important to me. So thank you, love. I appreciate that.
Yeah.
And then 5, this one is a giant work in progress, but it's getting back to movement. I have shared very vulnerably that I've been in the season post accident, being rear-ended a year ago, still struggling with some things. And I think the reason that this whole slow down topic really resonates is because for a year after my accident, I was trying to do physical therapy. I was trying to do returning to running, and I just couldn't. It's like my body just tightened up and continued to get worse and worse, where I lost my ability to run. I just physically, I can't run. My body will not go into the mechanical motion of running. I've now gotten back very slowly to just small increments, but my muscles were so tight that they would pull on my kneecaps. I'd feel like my knees are being crushed in. I couldn't run, which is a really low spot to be when you're a former runner and half marathon runner and soccer player, to lose that ability. And recently, within the last 2 weeks, what has been uncovered is that really my body is stuck in this fight or flight mode. And that is what I need to do first before I can even get back to other physical therapies and trying to run and play soccer again. So I think just learning more. So I brought, actually, Ryan, so those are my 5 things.
Yeah.
I just wanted to share this little bit about the nervous system, if that's okay.
Yeah.
Because this ties into my number 5. So
Sure.
Your body, you have your autonomic nervous system, which is like your body's autopilot. That's breathing, heart rate, digestion, healing, hormone regulation, so on. You don't have to tell yourself to do that, right? It's doing that. But it has two main branches, your sympathetic nervous system, which is fight or flight. So that kicks in when your body senses danger, even if it's a stressful email or traffic jam. And I will tell you this, like, oh, that stressful thing, I can feel it in my neck. It's like, it's like that can trigger things. It's almost a danger response. It's designed for emergencies and survival mode. And what it does, you might have a fast heart rate. Your pupils may get dilated. Your digestion may slow down. Your body is saying, I don't have time to digest. I need to run right now. If you're being attacked by a bear, you're not going to be thinking about, having to go to the bathroom. You're just going to be running from the bear, right? Well, that can happen.
Yeah.
Did you have a comment?
Well, okay.
Or it might just come out.
No, I was thinking about a bear. Sorry. No,
it's good. I want to hear it.
You keep going, Michelle.
No, our listeners want to hear it.
Okay,
Ryan.
Here's the thing.
What about this bear?
No, there's no bears, but if you ever find yourself in the Chicago airport, your sympathetic nervous system will go nuts.
Oh my gosh.
Because we were there, everybody's running, everyone's like late, and automatically my blood pressure went up. My heart rate was at like 150. I was just walking. It's like I was getting a workout, but like literally my body was going into like
fight or flight
because people were running, bumping into us. Like somebody lost their shoes and just kept going.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I mean, they probably fell out of somewhere, but
I don't know.
I just imagine somebody running and losing their shoes and they just kept going.
I mean, there were so many delayed flights, both going there and coming back at Chicago, that I would not put it past someone to, if you ran out of your shoes, you're like, I have to make my flight. I'm just going to keep going. I'm going to go sock footed. I hope they were wearing socks.
Yeah.
Ugh.
So sorry, that was a complete detour, but because we just got back from there and you're talking about this, this is a real life example.
It is. You can experience stress just by being around it.
Yes.
So maybe you need to look at your environments. That is so true. You guys do not fly through O'Hare. I'm sorry, O'Hare. We can't do it. I thought we were safe in the summer and we were not safe. We had 12 flight delays on the way home.
We love Chicago. It's
Chicago.
Great.
Yeah. Yay, Chicago.
Yeah.
But not your airport. Okay. Anyways, so you release cortisol and adrenaline. Case in point, Chicago airport. Your body muscles tense up because you're ready to fight or flee. Okay, so it's helpful in emergencies, but not in everyday life. And that's where I've been stuck. And the way to unlock that is to work on parasympathetic nervous system work. And the nickname for this is rest and digest. So it's your healing state. It turns on when your body feels safe and not in a rush. And what it does is it slows down all those things we talked about. It slows down your heart rate. It stimulates digestion. It boosts your immune function. It calms inflammation and allows for deeper breathing. So maybe if you are having problems with, digestion or you're sick a lot, it might be you're in your fight or flight mode. But also when you are in that restful state, it allows your body to repair, hormone balance, long-term healing. And that is my issue right now. I need more of that. But there are some ways to stimulate that. And I have been working on this. And Ryan, I know that you were laughing at me with my 5 o'clock coffee here, but I want you to know that on my list for things that can activate your parasympathetic nervous system is sipping herbal tea can activate the vagus nerve, which triggers that rest and digest state. Okay. So how does my nervous system know if it's coffee or tea? I mean, it's still like...
I don't know. Yeah.
Sipping a warm beverage.
Just drink.
It calms me.
Yeah.
I think that's why I like coffee all day long.
Probably.
It's calming to me.
Could be.
Okay. Anyways, those are my 5. And that is my my journey with... It's really trying to figure out how to bring more... more rest. And that is through the parasympathetic system.
Yeah.
Ryan, this is interesting too. So I found a list of things that help with slowing down, and prayer and meditation is on that list. deep, slow breathing, which is what you shared with your meditation, especially exhales. So a lot of times if you do yoga class, they'll say like make noise when you exhale, like it's kind of weird if you're in a class and people are like,
sure, yeah.
It's like, okay, all right. But that's
imagine.
why.
Right.
Prayer, meditation, gentle touch or hugs from spouse or kids, walking in nature, which is also why Pittsburgh was so great for you.
Right.
Aromatherapy. We talked about frankincense, lavender, bergamot. Those are some top ones for like stress and anxiety. Warm baths, gratitude journaling, and I've been doing a lot of this lately, and you guys think it's hilarious, but laughing, singing, or humming. So I had my physical therapist and I were working on this, and one of the things on our list was like humming, and that does something with the vagus nerve too. So I've been going like humming a lot.
You know what just occurred to me?
What? You guys have been laughing at me for it too, but it's scientific.
You know who does that?
Who?
Monks.
Interesting.
And they typically have a reputation of being rather
not stressed,
peaceful, not stressful.
Right.
People.
Right.
Hey, maybe you could start chanting or humming. Yeah.
I was.
Maybe,
I
know you
like
could.
The last 2
you
weeks.
could add that to your core 5. Hey, yeah. I think the whole point, and this is I think this is really cool because clearly you can see like ours are different, but each one of yours and mine helps to accomplish that.
Yeah,
it helps to slow you down from all of the chaos that happens every single day. And it takes you out of that and it slows you down.
Yeah. I think also being on this journey with you, Ryan, because your de-stressing helps me to de-stress and to slow down. I think I probably add to it. I'm the spouse that's wired more like the busy, but it is important for me to try to slow down because it's important for you. Like if you have you're vibing over there and I'm just running around, it's like the Chicago airport. Yeah. I'm creating stress with my like fury of like activities in the evening, Yeah. So it's important for you to kind of be in sync with your spouse.
Yeah, absolutely.
Do it together.
Yeah, for sure. Well,
final parting thoughts, Ryan?
I think again, going back to that quote, of just if the devil cannot make us bad, he'll make us busy. And I think, Michelle, what you said right off the bat of just, being so busy that it renders you ineffective. And I think that's the thing that a lot of relationships right now are probably going through that of just, we're busy. And then it gets to, you get kids in bed and then it's, 9:00. You're exhausted.
Yeah.
You have nothing left because you've been so busy.
Yeah.
We talked about this last night. You asked me this question about how do you do this every day? Like these core 5. Mm. And I had just said to you, like, I have to, or my day is chaos. Like if I don't do these things and I'm just in that every single day, every minute of the day, is not going to be good.
Yeah. So while this might seem like adding things, it's really setting the pace for your day.
Yeah.
When you do these things, everything else is going to flow.
Yeah. Yeah. Absolutely.
Ryan, great show. Thank you.
Thank you.
You're a great show writer.
Thanks, Michelle. I believe it's the time.
Question time. Ryan, draw one. The mystery.
Here we go.
We're doing a kind of a part 2 to this theme next week, this show topic. So check back in next week because we're going to take this a little farther.
All right, Michelle, this one's really great. Any advice for parents with teens or advice for parents of kids going away to college?
Aww. Ella. I say Ella because it reminds me of Ella, our daughter,
yeah.
who just got back from. She didn't write that question, I don't think. It's not her handwriting. I guess
think so.
Chris takes these in and writes them down for us. But
yeah.
So we have a daughter that just got done with her freshman year of college. And I would say this, she was an amazing teenager. And I think that having a solid relationship and communication with her led to just really open dialogue. I feel like we knew what was going on in her life with her friends, challenges, highs and lows. And that led to a really strong relationship where we were able to speak in because we had that bridge of communication. And I think also not giving them, I don't want to say not giving them the option, but if faith is a priority in your household, like just having that be what you do. So not necessarily like not allowing them not to come, but just making it so clear that, hey, if you're an O'Connor, you are getting your tail in the car at 8:15 on Sunday and we're going to church. That's what we do. It's non-negotiable. And I feel like all of those drops in her bucket created her faith foundation. It wasn't just, oh, wow, you lucked out. She turned out amazing. It was from a very early age. We started dating, she was 4. She was going to services every week, sometimes 2 or 3 times because we were serving. So she had this great Sunday foundation, but then we were also doing things throughout the week. I think we even came back for Wednesday services, and it was who we were, but it was lots and lots and lots of drops in her bucket created that foundation.
Yeah. Michelle, that's so good. That's a great answer. I'm going to share something, and I'm sorry if I ruffle anybody's feathers.
Is this like a t-shirt quote?
I don't know, but don't speak ill of your teenager. Don't speak that into them, because I think oftentimes they live up to that then. So like, how many times have you heard, oh, I have a teenager at home, they're the worst. Well, okay.
Yeah, or that's just teenagers. That's what they do.
Yeah. Don't do that. I would encourage you not to do that. I'm a big, like, words matter. And I think refrain from doing that. That's number one. Okay, I'll get off from there. But
no, that was great, Ryan. It's a good word.
I think the other thing is just build them up. Continue to Michelle, you said this, put drops in their bucket. Just continue to build them up. And I don't know. I think that's a role that, we as parents have is to build them up. And part of this stage of life, there is some releasing for us of like, okay, you're going to figure this out. Like, you're going to have to figure this out on your own. And there's some releasing of that, but we continue to build up.
Yeah.
And I think that's one of the biggest things. It's a challenging time. It's a challenging time for kids, as teenagers, and there's a lot of new things and a lot of, pressures. There's a lot of things, and we need to build them up.
Yeah. Good word, Ryan.
Yeah.
So good. Thank you to our listener for joining us today on the Celebrate MarriageCast. We loved having you, and we want you to know that we would love to have you as a part of our church. We have our service times online, and those are listed at Celebrate.church. And if you're in the Sioux Falls area, of course, we'd love to have you in person as well. You can find that information at Celebrate.church. We have marriage resources at Celebrate.church/marriage. And we'll say this, make sure that you are doing all of the actions for us, clicking, subscribe, liking. That would just mean so much. If you have a moment to write a review, we are approaching 100 episodes in not that long of a time. And that would just mean so much. It helps to have our show up in front of other people that really need this resource that we're putting out. So we'd appreciate that. And we hope that you have a great week.
Have a great week.
Thanks for joining us.